champions again, Liverpool.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day wherever you are around the world. And welcome to our match preview show for the Burnley game. Yes, we're playing Burnley. Yes, we may not score. We may not be scoring any goals at the minute, but hopefully this will end against Burnley. Fingers crossed. Probably it'll be a 0-0 draw with 80% possession. That is how it normally ends up against Burnley anyway. But hopefully all of you are having a fantastic day as always. As you can see, I am joined by two very special guests on the channel, making their debut on the channel anyway, and both from the 1892 Reds podcast. We have Luke and we have Ricky. I'll start off with Ricky. Ricky, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on. It's an honour.
Absolute pleasure, man. And Luke, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, well, good, mate. Sometimes even the first time around I struggled to get 1892. When we done our first episode, it was a bit of a pain, but yeah, okay, yeah, I'm all good anyways, mate. How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. And yeah, sometimes like words will just bamboozle you. Like you'll look at it and go, to be fair, that, like I can say that properly, and then when you actually go to say it, like your head just mucks up completely anyway. But that's the joys of going live anyway. But let's say hello to a few of you guys as well. Chris is in saying, hi lads, hope you're well. The official says hello. Alexley says, hi Colin, do you think Shaqiri deserves another start, or will Jones maybe start? We'll talk about selection in a little bit. Data's ending, it's always bloody Burnley. We all love Burnley, to be fair. Liz says hiya. Tommy says yes, my man Ricky Wade. There we go. And Data goes good evening as well. But yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Anyway, of course, we'll be letting about some injury news. Of course, we'll be talking about of course, Liverpool's situation at the minute, not scoring in 3 consecutive Premier League games for the first time since I think late or mid the 2004-2005 season, I believe. So to be fair, we ended up winning a European Cup that year, if you didn't know. But to be fair, I'll start off with Luke. Luke, it's been a frustrating couple of weeks, isn't it? I think a lot of Liverpool fans have been, well, exactly that, frustrated really with how not only the performances, but just the lack of goals lately.
Yeah, I mean, for a club like Liverpool, as we all know, scoring goals isn't a problem. We've been the last, especially in Klopp's reign at the club, we've always, even if we played poorly, we've always seemed to at least score a goal. To go through a run of 3 games in the league without scoring is quite, well, I don't know what to say about it. It is it's really, really strange. But we need to bounce back against Burnley. We obviously we have the problems with injuries, etc. But we, as I said, it's just strange how we've not scored goals in certain games where we need to win games. So hopefully we can get there against Burnley.
Yeah, and it is. And Ricky, this is one of the games where I think it can go either one or two ways. It's either going to be we're going to, completely destroy Burnley and, all that like build up frustration will just be let loose, or it's going to be, an 80% possession game like we all like to joke, and it's going to be a 0-0. Is something weird like that. How do you think this game is going to pan out really in terms of, how Liverpool are going to approach it?
So we know what Liverpool performances are like sometimes. You could either get like you said, the 80% possession and then it not that many chances for us, or not creating that many chances, or you can get the game against Palace away game where we put 7 past them. So you don't know what Liverpool will turn up. But if the front 3 don't turn up again tomorrow, there's huge pressure on the midfield to put some input in for goals.
Yeah, it will, absolutely. And I think for me, I think it's more important, not only attacking wise, more defensive wise in this game. I think probably the big call I think all of us are desperate for is for this man to be fit, and that's Mr. Joel Matip. I know that, of course, Jurgen has been speaking today, of course, at the press conference, and saying he's taken part in all of the full training since the Manchester United game. And Luke, it's been frustrating yet again. We use that word so much, frustration, in Joel Matip keeping fit, and I think with him now being back fit and being able to just be there for Liverpool now, because at the end of the day, we're not going to sign a centre half now. I think all of us would love Liverpool to dip into the market and at least buy a centre half. But like, how crucial is it now to just try and keep Matip, in bubble wrap? That I think, we've probably been trying to do all season, but we just can't at the minute.
I mean, me and Ricky have mentioned loads of times before. I think with Joel Matip, I think, play him in the games, but then just don't let him train. Like, it's just, for me, it's literally. When he's on his day, I do believe he's one of the best centre backs in the Premier League. Alongside Van Dijk, he's obviously going to be a lot better. He's obviously not had that as much this season because of Van Dijk and Gomez being injured, obviously, respectively. But we all know how good Joel Matip is and how important he is to our team. We see it against Man United. When he doesn't play, it affects our team massively, especially in midfield and going forward. We have to, rotate the squad around and just do what we like, use what we've got, really. So it is so important that Joel Matip can try and get a string of games together, especially in this period, because we all know with COVID, it's all, sort of stretched. Well, not too much stretch, but I'd say it's sort of 3-4 days we've always got a game. So it's important for him to stay fit. And just as I said, really, just don't let him train, Klopp. Like, just let him play the games and just let him rest and let him recover for the next game ahead.
Yeah, definitely. And Ricky, do you think, would you agree with Luke there? Just play him for one important game. Don't let him train for a week, and then just let him play then like an odd game then. Because of course we have this game against Burnley, and then we have the big game in the FA Cup against Manchester United as well, which I think a lot of people may be calling for a bit of rotation in that game. But again, it's Manchester United. I think we all want to beat them, especially at Old Trafford as well next week. But what are your thoughts about Joel Matip this season anyway?
So Joel Matip is our Ledley King. I think he's a top defender on his day when he's playing. Like Luke said, I wouldn't. As much as it'd kill Klopp, I wouldn't make him train. I'd just play him in the game so that it gives him that massive break in between games that he ain't really putting pressure on his body. And with the Man United game at the weekend, leave him at home. I wouldn't even bother taking him because as much as you want to go on a cup run, I'm not too fussed about the FA Cup. When you're going for the league and the Champions League, and with the injuries we've got at centre half, you need your players ready to be able to play, and Matip needs to play in the league and the Champions League. So I'll give a game to like the youth players in the FA Cup, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. I would absolutely agree with that. Like I said, we should probably wrap him up in cotton wool, and just because I've called, like many people know in this on this channel, I've called Matip a Weetabix because he legit has the structure of a Weetabix in my personal opinion. Anyway, but Chris has already put in his team. He said Ali, Trent, Fabinho, Matip, Robbo, Thiago, Henderson, Shaqiri, Firmino, Mane, and Salah. We will get on to team selections in a little bit. My prediction 2-0 to Liverpool as well. Our bad spell has to come to an end at some point. Hopefully, Chris. Hopefully, it does come to an end very, very soon. Anyway, data says 342 minutes since one of our front three last scored a goal. That's just not good enough, is it? And to be fair, I've seen a lot of people say this over the last couple of days anyway, and the official says, not a Liverpool fan, but do you think you guys need a striker or centre back? Because Firmino isn't really scoring and Henderson isn't a centre back. I'll start off with Ricky on this one. Of course, I think we've all conceded, like I said, that Liverpool aren't going to sign anyone in January because of the circumstances. Going into the summer, I believe that Fabrizio Romano and others have said that it's going to be a big summer for Liverpool and a huge, huge summer. Of course, with Virgil coming back, next year, we all think so anyway. And he looks ahead of, the time frame that was given to him. Do you think a defender is more crucial, or do you think someone that's already been mentioned, like a Haaland or an Mbappe, is more crucial towards Liverpool going forward?
So I said it at the start of this season when we were coming in as champions that we needed a striker because the back end of last year, I know the league was wrapped up quite early after the pandemic, like last season. but then you can see we still weren't hitting goals for fun like we used to. Like we all know, Firmino is the formation. He is the man that fits everything together for the front three. But he seems like he's on a decline now, and it's been a while since we've seen Firmino in top form. I think the only recent game I can remember that he was sort of on a bit of form was the Tottenham home game where we had some fans in the stadium. We all know Firmino's an entertainer, and without them fans, Firmino does look a bit lost.
Yeah.
So I do think massively in the summer, our priority is a striker. But we'll see what happens. I don't know how much money we've got to spend in the summer, so hopefully we don't have to sell anyone to buy like we have done previous years.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Look, I think that Ricky's hit the nail on the head there. It'll depend on how much money Liverpool has to spend. I know that a lot of people have said that one of the front three could potentially leave. I think Jamie Carragher said it on Monday Night Football that this is, you don't usually see a trio, for more than 2 or 3 seasons, and now we're going into the 4th season with the same front three. Of course, we've added the likes of Diogo Jota into that mix, and he's done absolutely fantastic when called upon. But I think, like both Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville said, the rest of them are not good enough, and that is Divock Origi, Takumi Minamino, and Xherdan Shaqiri. Now, I think all of us at the start of the season was saying, that level between the front three and the rest, it is too big, because when we needed someone like the Atletico game, there was no one to call upon. Do you think that Liverpool would rather sell maybe the likes of Divock Origi and maybe a Xherdan Shaqiri, and then keep the front three, and then maybe bring someone else in, like someone unknown, like the Diogo Jota situation? Or do you think they're gonna go all out for someone like big, like a Haaland or Mbappe?
I just think it's very difficult. I mean, as much as we'd love to just go out and try and spend the big money on an Mbappe or a Haaland, I do think if one of them comes in, I think we just know that someone is going to go. We've seen, I think we see some news today that Salah maybe wants to sign a contract extension. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I think you can clearly see when the Real Madrid rumours came about with him. Obviously, I don't believe he's been at the full sort of sharpness that that we all know Salah is. But no, for me personally, I believe that even if we did let Origi go, Shaqiri or Minamino, I still believe that one of the front three, like the main front three, would have to go if a big star would have to come in to replace him. So we can all live and dream. We can all hope that that's not true. But, I mean, the only other thing I forgot to mention, the comment that I saw there, 342 minutes without a goal. I mean, it would have been 343 if Paul Tierney would have played the extra minute.
Yeah. Oh, don't mention that, please.
I mean, but yeah, all jokes aside, I mean, no, I just can't see it. Like, one of them for me would go.
Yeah. I'll ask you both this: if it was possible, and the money was there, Haaland or Mbappe, which one? That sounds too greedy. I sound really greedy when I say that. It's like, which one do you want?
Yeah, I mean, if we can have both. I personally, just for raw power, and we know he can hit the back of the net with literally anything. And obviously, we've seen him. They've played, but in recent history, in recent Champions League history, we've played against both of them, and obviously we know how good both of them they are. But I would personally go for Haaland. I do think that he gives us a bit more sort of threat in that central area of the attacking area. I think we obviously look out wide, especially when Robertson and Trent come forward with crosses, we sort of lack, for me, that attacking figure in the centre of the box. And sometimes we're bringing the midfield forward if we can, but obviously, as Ricky's mentioned, not much of the midfield are scoring goals, so we rely on Salah and Mane at times. So I just think Haaland, for me, I would love to see in a Liverpool shirt next season.
Yeah, definitely. Ricky, are you the same?
Yeah, definitely. He's just a freak of nature, isn't he? He's just built like a proper striker, and he just don't seem like he don't know how to find the back of the net. Yeah, he's just pure power. Definitely have him up front next season, please.
I think all of us would love it, to be fair. Data says centre back Matip and Gomez spent more time injured than actually playing. Sadly, that is true this season. That is sadly true. Anthony's in. Hello, Anthony. Of course, Leicester they were top of the league. But sadly, Manchester City are now top of the league. I can't wait to hear Man City fans get out their cave now. Seamus Moore says, good evening, everyone. Hello, Seamus. Hopefully having a fantastic day. Dave's in. Hello, Dave. Hopefully having a fantastic day, mate. Jeannie's in as well. Dave's gone with a 2-0 Liverpool prediction. Hopefully, I take 2 goals, to be fair. Like I was saying to the lads before we came on, I wouldn't mind if Alisson hit it from 80 yards and it bounced off Nick Pope's head and went in. Like that is probably going to happen. Siwa says, I want to see Minamino start in this game. And to be fair, that's a major talk about. I can see Ricky's shaking his head. The one guy I wanted to talk about was this man, Bobby Firmino. Of course, people criticizing him a little bit after, this, dry spell Liverpool has had lately. And to be fair, I thought, against Manchester United, I thought, why not? Maybe try and change things up. Maybe put, a Divock Origi on early. Klopp did. Divock Origi didn't do anything. I think that was plain and simple to see. Anyway, but Ricky, why wouldn't you put Takumi Minamino on instead of Bobby?
Because I think he's one of the worst signings we've made in recent history. I think he's awful. I do not see what he offers in a game of football. Like, no one knows where he plays. You could play him centre back and you wouldn't think nothing of it. Like, you don't know if he's a striker, a centre midfielder, or a wide player. I just think that there was a bit of hype around him from the Champions League games where we played against him. Like, Man United was sniffing around. I believe Tottenham was sniffing around him as well. And I just don't see what he's brought to us. That's like, people are moaning that he scored against Palace and we haven't seen him since. Well, clearly, Klopp don't rate him highly as what he thought he was. So I could see him being loaned out or potentially sold in the summer to get some funds in, because we're going to get more than 7 million from him. Someone will pay more than that. So we probably would cash in on him if we got the right offer.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Luke, do you have the same thoughts as Ricky? Do you think Taki could play against Burnley?
I want to see, a bit of a change up front, because we've had loads of talks about Firmino. Should he be rested? He's obviously not firing on all cylinders. I think the only thing is I think maybe Ricky might be sort of putting across is when Minamino's maybe not at that level, it's like, oh no, I don't want to, I don't really want to put him in that sort of 11. But I'm leaning maybe yes towards giving him that opportunity because it's Burnley. We do, no disrespect to them, but I mean, I would have always started Bobby in, the bigger games, but because it's Burnley, possibly I would maybe rotate it there, just to give Bobby that bit of a rest. But I do kind of agree with what Ricky's saying in the summer. I never think Minamino's that player that's going to be the long-term sort of at Liverpool. I reckon, he's been here a year now. So I reckon maybe in the summer we might be looking at some funds to maybe cash in on a Haaland or an Mbappe or both. So.
Maybe. To be fair, there was the rumours circling, I believe in early December, that January that Takumi Minamino was getting linked with a move to Borussia Dortmund. So maybe there could be a swap deal. Maybe there. So time will tell anyway. But guys, let us know your thoughts. Would you start Takumi Minamino against Burnley? I'm not looking forward to my prediction because, spoilers, Minamino's in there. Jeannie says, 4 games isn't a crisis. A crisis is relying on Lambs and Balotelli. The front three got enough credit with me. You never walk alone. To be fair, those periods where we had Ricky Lambert and Mario Balotelli, I'm gladly those days are over. Anyway, but
don't forget Barini as well.
That just puts me in more. That just legit puts me in more depression thinking of Fabio Barini. Like, did Barini score in his debut? I'm trying to think. Did he? And like everyone hyped him up so much. I think he did. To
He
be fair,
showed great character that day.
to be fair, Liverpool in between 2010 and 2013. Oh Jesus Christ! I'm never having that ever again. Siwa says, I think a centre back will have to be the priority in the summer. Playing midfielders as centre backs cover isn't ideal. We need cover for centre backs. Yeah, I would agree with that. To be fair, of course, Fabrizio Romano did say that Liverpool are planning to sign a centre back in the summer. Whether or not we will, who knows? Genie says not getting a centre back is criminal. It is and it isn't. Of course, if COVID wasn't a thing, then, and if Liverpool wasn't signing a centre back, then yes, I would say absolutely. It is 100% criminal, but because of the situation, we have to, take that into consideration, of course. Dave said Haaland. Bayer says, watching the Fulham game today, Angus is looking like a beast in the midfield. Interesting seeing us linked to him. Maybe he might sign for us. Maybe if Genie leaves, maybe we are looking. All the realms are being thought of all day. Dave's Mbappe is a diva. To be fair, I like Mbappe. I'm not gonna lie, but to be fair, I would like Haaland as well. But to be fair, there is one guy being mentioned right now with Liverpool, and that is what Kale said. Is Danny Ings coming to Liverpool? Of course, Danny Ings is getting mentioned with Liverpool. I personally don't think Danny Ings is coming back to Liverpool. I think the whole, he wants to play for a Champions League club. Yes, that may be true, but it is being talked about in contract terms. So, that might be used to maybe bump up a little bit of more cash for Danny Ings anyway. Ricky, do you feel the same? But first of all, do you think Danny Ings could come back? And if that is the case, do you think, you would want him back anyway?
Danny Ings is only coming back if we ain't got the funds in the summer to go on a massive spending spree to rebuild. Would I take him back? No, because again, I'd like someone to play more than 3 games a month and not get injured. Klopp's training is very intense. Someone like Danny Ings probably can't sustain that sort of level due to his body won't take the pressure. That's why I think he suits someone like Southampton, where you play once a week, and you just go score goals from, do what you can do. But yeah, no, I wouldn't have him back.
Yeah, I think probably. I think Luke, would you agree? It's probably just used as contract terms.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the goals he scored for Southampton, I think, he deserves to sort of be acknowledged that he's obviously, he wants a bit more money at the club. He probably feels that he is their best player, and he probably is, maybe bar Ward-Prowse. I think he probably is one of their best players at the club. I agree with what Ricky's saying about the Klopp training regime. We all know Klopp loves a double session. We all know that the fitness levels is so important. And I like Danny Ings when he was at Liverpool. He worked hard. He tried his best. But them 2 injuries that he got, the first one is obviously devastating, but that second one, I think you can tell that, something's not going right, for him in training. And, it's obviously on a match day, it's not helping him. So I personally believe that if we re-signed him, I do think that it wouldn't be the best part of business for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with what both of you had to say. And Bayer says he was bought in to grow your brand in Japan. I think that was with Takumi. Yeah, that is true. Of course, with the new Nike kit deal as well, and Liverpool wanting to break into the Asian market. But to be fair, I think he did show great promise against us with Salzburg. I think him and Haaland, obviously, were the highlights of that game anyway. Minamino hat-trick incoming. To be fair, I would love it. It doesn't matter who scores, just someone score, please. How is everyone doing today? Everyone, I believe, is doing fine. Thank you, Mark. Danny Ings has been linked to Leicester from Rob Tanner, saying to be Vardy's successor. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. To be fair, Vardy and Ings up front, Bayer, could be good. I know you said you don't want him, but, could that be a possibility? Let us know in the comment section down below anyway. But let's move on then to the opposition then. Of course, Burnley. I think we all hate playing against Burnley, especially Burnley away. I think that's probably one of the worst fixtures, I think, on the calendar anyway. But, Luke, of course, Burnley, 2 years ago, fighting for Europa League places. Last season, being kind of lost in the mixture. I know this season, fighting in that relegation battle. Like, how have you assessed Burnley's season so far?
It's kind of difficult, really. I think they're a very, very strange team. Like I think they're one of those teams that when you watch them play, a Liverpool, or maybe not a Liverpool, for example. Maybe if you play like a Man United or a Man City, for example, you just think 3-0, 4-0, straight away that they're going to get absolutely battered. But when they play against us for some reason, or when they play against maybe someone else, they can turn up. And I just think Burnley are one of them teams. Yes, they're in a relegation battle this season. We all know how tight it is and congested in the top half of the table. And obviously Burnley, unfortunately for them, they're not in that area. But, they're weird. They could stay up this season, and next season they can go on a run of, games where they're picking up vital points and getting them into them top 10 sort of Europa League spot possibly. But yeah, very, very strange team. Just hopefully, as you said earlier, hopefully we can score against them, because we know they're going to be sort of tight at the back. They're going to make it very difficult for us to break down. And we all know how difficult it is to break the smaller clubs down, like your Fulhams and West Broms, your Brightons. We've found it difficult in games. So hopefully it's not one of them games. We need an early goal. We need to settle the nerves. And yeah, hopefully it's a 4-5-0 game, but who knows with Liverpool right now.
Yeah, I know. Like, to be fair, Ricky, I know that I think we all would love, Liverpool to, destroy and dismantle Burnley anyway. But for some reason, every single time Liverpool are playing good attacking wise, the opposition goalkeeper likes to, perk up. And especially the last time we played against Burnley at Anfield, it was Nick Pope, and he had an absolutely fantastic game. I know that Liverpool had just won the title, and we was pretty much in the honeymoon period, really, which we didn't really care about. But I think we had like 20 chances that day, and it was 1-1. So do you think Nick Pope is probably Burnley's best player at the moment?
Like you said about goalkeepers, I just think every goalkeeper that comes to Anfield thinks if they play well, they get a contract at the end of it. I've never seen anything like it with opposition goalkeepers at Anfield. But yeah, he is one of their best players. Like, he's England's best goalkeeper, isn't he, at the minute? But just hopefully when we play him, he just forgets his gloves at home or something like that, and we get the early goal. I think if we get the early goal, it could be a decent scoreline. But it's getting that first goal. Like I said, when the first goal goes in, I hope Klopp runs on the pitch, celebrates with the players. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game.
No, lad, I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it. Just Rob, or just like doing something like really shithousery or something like that. I would just love it, to be fair. But it's like Bayer said, but yeah, like Nick Pope is the best shot stopper in the Prem. I would agree with that. I think, of course, probably going into the season, he was getting mentioned with big moves. Manchester City, I think, was getting mentioned. I think Chelsea was definitely on the cards. I think even we were on the cards at one stage when, the whole talk of a backup goalkeeper was being mentioned. But, you're going to end up paying probably like 50, probably even 60 million for, Nick Pope. Of course, English, Premier League, like Ricky said, England's number one, especially going into a European year, hopefully. By the summer, of course. So, that is, being built up as well. And I think, again, like Anthony said, by Tarkowski and Pope, best two, and Leicester reject Wood as well. To be fair, Tarkowski's got mentioned as well, with us in lately, of course. Ricky, do you think that, I know that we, Liverpool like to poach off of relegated teams. If Burnley was to get relegated this season, would you like any of those players coming to Liverpool?
I'll probably take Tarkowski as a backup centre back, because let's be honest, if we're in the same situation again next season, can't be relying on a kid to come in and play centre back, or a person that you were offloading in the summer in Phillips. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'd definitely take Tarkowski as a backup centre back if we can get him for the right price. Because we were linked with him a few years ago, and that just didn't happen in the end. But yeah, definitely take him.
Yeah, Luke, you the same? Would you take Tarkowski?
Yeah, I think you look at the context of things. Yeah, Tarkowski would be a decent buy, but we know, English centre back, English players always get overpriced. But you know what? I do. We're talking about Origi and Shaqiri and Minamino. I mean, maybe a Dwight McNeil. I think he's a good young winger. I think he looks good on the ball. He looks quick. I think he probably would suit the way Klopp wants to play. And I know we've got Jota that can play sort of as versatile in the attacking areas, but I do think McNeil does give maybe that bit more depth in the squad. He won't start games, but definitely I think he's one of them players that will fit into a Klopp style of football.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think one player I think we all looked at probably in the summer was Ismail Assar and how versatile up front he was. And I think that just falls down to every single player I think being linked to Liverpool, or even being talked about towards Liverpool, is how versatile can he be. I don't think there's any player in this squad that can't play anywhere. Like James Milner can play everywhere apart from goalkeeper, and he could probably do that if he wanted to as well. So it would be very, very interesting to see if Liverpool would go for someone from Burnley if they was to get relegated, or even if they don't get relegated. It will be interesting. Mick is in. Mick Moran. Hi fellas. Hopefully you're doing well, Mick. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. Jeannie says I am feeling a 0 for 6. Sorry. Mr. Pope, I think that's 6-0 towards Liverpool. Bayer says they put 50 million on Tarkowski for us. Good player, but that English tax, yeah, that is a huge problem in terms of English players anyway. But let's get moving on then to the starting 11 prediction. Of course, this is where we talk about who we think are going to be playing against Burnley. I will first of all ask Luke for his prediction, but guys, let us know yours in the comment section down below. Luke, who would you start to play against Burnley tomorrow?
Oh, well, unfortunately not Milner in goal, so I'm going to go with Alisson in goal. Back four, Alisson in goal, back four, Trent at right back, Robbo left back, Matip and Fabinho at centre half. Midfield three, I would go with Hendo in midfield, Thiago, and I probably will go obviously Wijnaldum in midfield. I know Ricky loves that. I just think, I would go Naby Keita, but he's not injured. He's obviously injured at the moment, so I think Genie has to slot in that position. Front three, Mane on the left, Salah on the right. And Rick's going to kill me. I'm going to go Minamino. I just think Firmino needs that rest. Shaqiri can't play in that 9. For me, I'm going to go with Minamino up front and put Bobby on the bench.
Could Ox play in the false 9, do you think?
Yeah, I've heard talks of it, but possibly. I mean, he might do a decent job there, but I mean, it's just another one where, the last 2 or 3 games, and we know Oxlade-Chamberlain's a good attacking option to bring off the bench, and Klopp's just not really sort of looked at him to be an option off the bench to try and get us a goal. So can he play in that false 9? Maybe, but I think at the moment, the way the squad is at the moment, I don't think he'll get a look in, to be honest. So no, I'm going to stick with Minamino, Ricky's favourite. I'm going to stick with him up front.
to be fair, like it's a decent looking team, on paper anyway. But Ricky, I'm guessing Takumi Minamino's not on your team. But what's your starting 11 for tomorrow?
So it'd be Alisson in goal, Trent, Robbo, Nat Phillips, and Matip at centre half. A midfield three of Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago, and then the front three will be Mane, Salah, and Bobby.
Ooh, so moving Fabinho back into midfield, I like it.
I just think you need that bit of protection with Burnley's sort of roughness of the game. Phillips is a big lad at centre half, so put him there to deal with Barnes or Chris Wood, and Matip can deal with the other one. We need Fabinho back in centre midfield as soon as possible, because he's the one that sort of breaks it up and starts it off, then lay it off to Henderson, and then we go forward. Because you need Thiago further forward so that he can get the front three involved more. So hopefully, I'll go with that. And then I don't know where Ox is. Is Ox fit or is he?
I believe he is fit. There was no mention of him being injured today.
Because when you need a goal and you bring James Milner ahead of him in a game, that's saying all right.
Just quickly, Rick. I just forgot. Does Minamino make the bench?
Only because we ain't got enough alternatives to fit on the bench.
What, sub goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I don't think Ricky's going to like my lineup. I'm not going to lie. So this is the team that I'm going for tomorrow against Burnley.
At least you ain't got no Wijnaldum in there. I'll take it.
So I believe Gini deserves a rest. He's been fantastic in my opinion.
More than that. Deserves a door on the way out in the summer.
Deserves a new contract. That's what he deserves.
Oh.
But starting 11 for me: Alisson in goal, Trent, Matip, Fabinho. I think will stay at centre half, and then Robbo. Thiago, I think, will keep his place in the 6th role. I think Henderson will play in one of the 8s, in my personal opinion, and then of course James Milner. If there was a Naby Keita, Naby would be there for me. But I think all of us are frustrated that the fact that Naby is injured anyway. And then, of course, then my front three, I've gone with Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, and then Takumi Minamino, which will probably infuriate Ricky because
I love that. And I like how you put Milner in as well. We need a goal. We put Milner in there.
the thing is, like my thought process for that is the fact that Burnley, they're gonna just play 6 at the back anyway, and like Milner will just keep that that composure there. Really, I think in the fact that he's experienced, and to be fair, like to not disrespect James Milner, normally he does assist when he is playing that more advanced 8 role. So. If that leads to a goal, if it leads to Tarkowski heading into his own net, I will take that. Fair play. I will take that.
Just added onto your thing as well. Just quickly, if we need a goal, I'll take a penalty. I think Klopp knows that. We put Milner on the pitch, we might get a goal out of it. So,
well, if it works, it works. To be fair, I don't mind. To be fair, but Ricky, I'm sensing you hate Gini Wijnaldum. Why?
If you listen to the 1892 Reds podcast, please listen to Rick. I put him in every week about what Wijnaldum's performance.
When someone hasn't had an assist in 2 years and he's playing centre midfield for a Premier League champion club and European champions, he slows everything down. He does not know how to pass the ball forward. I'm sure we get a different one. I'm sure we got his twin brother from international duty. I've seen what he does for Holland and he's class. But when he comes back to us, I don't know if Klopp's forced him to be that type of player, but it bores me. Like Henderson does more in the midfield. Thiago looks to create, and I don't know, Wijnaldum just don't look like he knows how to pass the ball forward. And when he does, it's too soft.
To be fair, I love Gini, so I can't really I think he does so much. Especially what game was it?
He's a big game player. He's a big game. Don't get me wrong. Big games he can play. The smaller teams, you need to get him out of the team. You need a bit of creativity in there when they're sitting 10 man behind the ball. But big teams, Champions League games, Barcelona away, they're the games you play him in, and I see what he does in them games. But the smaller teams, I don't see what he does.
So I'll ask you both this question then, and I'll start with Luke. Do you think Gini signs a new contract?
I'm in the middle. I think personally that I would like him to stay, but if he does stay, I think we need to get something out of him. So I think he's still good enough, obviously, for our squad. I think he's been pivotal to Klopp's success over the last couple of years. Irrelevant of goals and assists, obviously he's done well enough to, win a Premier League and Champions League winners medal in the team that we've had. I do think that, in recent games that he sort of looked out more of his depth this season, I think. That's personally what I feel. But if we do keep hold of him, I'd like him to stay, but I don't think he would probably stay for much longer. I think letting him go on a free is quite bad. I mean, someone mentioned about not signing the centre back is criminal, and I think that's probably the similar scenario. If you're not going to re-sign a player and then sell him for a fee, we did it with Emre Can. Obviously, it's sort of worked out for us a little bit, but for me, I think Wijnaldum's a different and a better player than Emre Can was, and I think losing him on a free transfer will be devastating for us. So, yeah, I'd give him a new contract, maybe a 2-year contract, and then maybe sell him on the following season or in January. So, yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people, I think share your views. I think, like, for me, I love Gini Wijnaldum. I think, like Ricky said, he is a big game player, but I think he just offers... I don't think football is just all about stats. Then really, that's it. Like, he offers so much towards the Liverpool. It's like Bobby Firmino. It's like, whenever you speak to a rival fan, they're like, "Oh, he doesn't score very well." It's like, yeah, but watch what else he does for the Liverpool side, and it's so much better. But I can see why people are getting so much frustrated, because it is like you said, Luke. It is that Emre Can situation. Again, I believe we tried to sign Emre Can to a new contract, I think about 18 months, I think it was. And it's been kind of like our Genie now. So it is very, very frustrating that the same thing is happening yet again with another Liverpool midfielder anyway. But yeah, let's get on then to score predictions anyway. Ricky, can Liverpool score a goal? At least one?
I want to go 4-0. I've got two results. We'll either win 4-0 or we'll have 80% of the possession and they score an 85th to 90th minute winner from a Chris Wood header. That is from a corner. That is how it's going to be. We'll either smash them or we'll lose 1-0 but have the ball 80% of the game.
To be fair, guys, when we was coming on and then we were talking a little bit like off camera, Ricky did say we were going to have 80 possession, we we're going to lose 1-0. So if it happens, like, just everyone, please don't go and bombard Ricky when it happens.
If you want video evidence, go on the 8092 podcast. Have a look at that.
To be fair, when we predicted something like bad for Liverpool last time, that it was me saying that hopefully Joe Gomez doesn't get injured, and like I think 2 days later, of course, the bad news come out that he got injured now. So for some reason, it's a curse on this channel. I don't know why. Anyway, but yeah, Luke, what would be your score prediction for tomorrow, mate?
I think I said earlier, like, I think 4-0 or 3-0, whatever, but I don't know. I just think it's got the feel of a tight game. I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool. I just want to see a goal. I'm sitting there like, in the Man United game. I'm shaking with like nerves and fears. But when a goal goes in, it just sort of settles it down a little bit. Even like if the away team scores, it settles it down. But I just want to see a goal in a Liverpool game. So yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0, and I'm gonna go with our boy Minamino getting a double.
Ricky's like raging inside right now. But to be fair, I'm going to go the exact same. I think Luke, like what Luke said, 2-0. I'm going to go with, it's probably, like, I would, to be honest, I would just take a 1-0 win and 3 points. Like, that's all I want. Just 3 points, please, Liverpool. Like, it's not hard. People score against Burnley. It's not hard. I say that, watch us struggle now into like 90. We'll score in like 90 plus 6 minutes or something like that.
Oh,
like
bloody Burnley.
But Genie says Alisson, Trent, Matip, Fabinho, Robbo, Henderson, Genie, Milner, Salah, Mane, and Firmino. Interesting team. Kale, that's not the score that we want to see. Sadly, 2-1 Man United, for God's sake. Diego's in. Hello, Diego. Hopefully having a fantastic day, mate. Genie says, I love Genie so much. He protects the ball and Klopp trusts him. Everyone will miss him next year. He deserves a better contract anyway. Well, Fabrizio Romano has said that Liverpool have offered him a new contract, and there's all different types of reports with it anyway, and it is frustrating because I think all of us would like to find out what is happening, and we'd all like to go, well, just tie him down and just sign the contract. And like, if you want to go, then we'll sell it for like 30 million, but like, sign the contract anyway. But yeah, I think we're going to end it there for today, guys. Anyway, we have been going for 45 minutes. Anyway, bloody hell, time does fly when we're talking about the Reds. Anyway, but Ricky, Luke, thank you for coming on. Like, it's been a pleasure having you on the channel for the first time. Lads, tell me a bit about, and tell the others a bit about the 1892 Reds podcast.
So yeah, I mean, we're recently a new podcast. We've been going for a couple of months now. It's, you know, we bring obviously weekly content regarding, you know, the games and obviously all the news that come in and around the club, you know, that we all have different viewpoints, and obviously we talk about, you know, what we think about certain, you know, things that are going around the club. So yeah, it's, you know, pretty much everything about Liverpool really, and it's great. We've had, you know, like, thank you very much for yourself, Connor. You've given us some great support. You know, Jack, Mac, like loads. I can name loads of different people that have supported us along the way the last few months, and yeah. So everyone, if you want to, like, follow the 1892 Reds podcast. So yeah, we're on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. So yeah, pretty much that. Yeah, and you get to hear a lot of Ricky ranting about Wijnaldum and a few other things. So, you know, if you're interested, yeah, go check it out.
Yeah, definitely. You know, all the links are in the video description down below. I believe they're first on top, if I've done that correctly. So, guys, please go and subscribe. Please go and give the lads a listen as well. You know, absolute brilliant content. And to be fair, guys, just say, you know, mention comments in the council sent to. So, you know, just lets me know which one of you have actually joined, because it lets me know, to be fair anyway. But yeah, thank you to everyone that has tuned in to the video anyway. It's very much appreciated. If you could please leave a like on the video, it lets me know that you do like the match preview shows as well. But until next time, guys, and also as well, before I do go, please hit the subscribe button if you're new to the Cop Council. I always forget to say that these days, but yeah, please hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to enable notifications, because YouTube for some reason hate notifications. I don't know why, just the algorithm. Yeah, but until next time, guys, there's going to be it from us. I've been Connor from the Cop Council, and hopefully Liverpool can eventually score a goal at least anyway. But until next time, guys, see you all later. Try Reds.